Welcome back to the Wolf of Queen Street, to another podcast episode today, and as well as on the YouTube. This will be our second YouTube video. Please let me know if you like the first one. Make sure you give us comments, subscribes, and everything else. I'm today joined by Gareth Edwards from the Dark Heart Grooming Company. This is the second time Gareth's been on the show. He joined me just over about 3 months ago, and at that stage you were planning for the 24-hour tyre flip challenge or fundraiser for charity for the John Kirwan Foundation. Obviously that has come and gone.
It has, it's a month now.
A month since it's gone. And I just wanted to firstly, before we get into anything else, congratulate you on what you achieved with that event on flipping the tyre for 24 hours, yourself and Tom. I last checked, I think it was over $12,000 that you guys raised for the charity. And I know that there was moments that we've spoken about before that you felt a week before you weren't necessarily going to achieve the target or get there. But I can tell you from someone watching it, and just as a New Zealander, you were on the news, you were on all the production companies, the week before, the week after. It's the amount of buzz that you got for what you guys did, but fundamentally for the charity. I congratulate you on that.
Thank you. It was a massive undertaking. I don't think when we spoke, as you say, I was here 3 months ago. When we first spoke about it, it was kind of, we're going to do this thing, and it's going to be 24 hours, and we're doing it for charity, and it's going to be this great thing. And then, as you alluded to, it got to a week out, and we only got to about $4,000 of our $10,000 target, which, as the organizer of the event, I was quite anxious about. There was a lot of anxiety, there was a lot of pressure I put on myself. I just spoke to David Neath yesterday, our mental performance coach. We had a bit of a debrief a month later, went over the kind of feelings and the learnings and all kind of stuff. And what I realized was the pressure that I put on myself was immense. Now, you came down at the event and spent a bit of time with me, and we talked and all that kind of thing. And there was a lot of emotion and a lot of passion. There, we wanted to achieve this thing, and even up until the morning of, we were still sitting at about $7,000. So through that week, we spent, as you said, about 8 minutes on the AM show on the Tuesday morning. I
let Gareth know. I think you put it on your social media that hey, he's gonna be on the AM show. I was still funny. I was still at home getting ready, and so I was started a cough in my hand, saw your Instagram, coincidentally, perfect timing. I said, crap, I'll put the TV on, recorded the whole session actually, right? So I recorded it live. Because you're on the show, obviously you couldn't do any of the content yourself. So I contacted Gareth and I said, hey dude, I recorded the whole show. I've uploaded it on Google Drive. Here it is, and knock yourself. And it was a great segment you guys did as well.
It was. Look, we got 8 minutes, which was great. They really went into depth into why we were doing it, what it meant to us, what the foundation was about. And then in that 8 minutes, we managed to pump up the fundraising by about $1,200. So the power of TV, man, it's just, And then Saturday morning comes around, we're sitting at about $7,000. Again, there's anxiety there. There's all the pressure and all the emotion, all the adrenaline for being at the actual event, and we're going to be doing this now, and everyone's turning up, and we're setting together, doing the live stream and everything going on. And then it was 40, you'd gone home at this point. It was about 45 minutes from the finish, and my good friend Ed, our chiropractor, came up to me and told me that we'd cracked the $10,000 barrier. Now, I broke down right from the get-go.
So just to let everyone know that, so you're talking about 45 minutes before the end of the 24 hours, right? So this is you 24 hours awake. Take a step back as well to tell everyone that's listening or anyone that's watching. 95 kg tyre, was that? 93 kg tyre. So you're looking at about 190 pounds tyre. This thing would be 5 foot easy.
I'm 6'1", and it came up to just under my chin.
It's chin, so you're not talking about a small tyre. And when I went down for, I think it was 2 or 3 hours to have a watch. Every time this tyre was up and it was flipped, the floor would shake. And it was a noticeable thump and movement and energy. So just to put yourself in that picture, and you can see it. I don't know if your live stream video is still not. It's obviously not live.
No,
but can you still watch it?
So basically, what happens with that, if it's over 12 hours, of live stream, YouTube, it's at YouTube's discretion of whether they store it or not.
Ah, okay. And they dropped it. Yeah. I'm guessing a lack of engagement.
So, like we had a good 100 plus people tune in. And like, we had tons of views, which is great, but 24 hours, that's a lot of video and content streaming. To store and then play back, which is look, it is what it is.
Yeah. So going back to what you're saying, you're 45 minutes out from the end of your 24 hours.
Yeah.
You would have just been mentally, physically, everything fatigued in that point. And
we had a bit of a tough road through that kind of 16 hours onwards. Like we've done the 12 before, and we kind of went, we know what this is. Our bodies know what it is. Mentally, we know where we're going. From the 12 hours onwards, it's new uncharted territory for us. Tom ended up injuring his back. His back just sort of didn't want to do it anymore at about the 16th hour, and then we were managing his health, managing the mental health side of things for him, and sort of giving him care where we could, which meant taking up the slack and doing a couple of extra 20-minute sets so he could
and that's a challenge, right? So every minute or anything you try to help Tom with, even if it's 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes extra on what you're doing. So that's a challenge in itself as you went through.
And we went there going into this, at the 12 hour, I pulled up pretty bad at about 10 hours in, hit the wall really, about 8 hours in actually, to be fair, and hit the wall really hard. And, that was a learning for me. So I was making sure that didn't happen again. And then Tom, unfortunately, his back just couldn't sustain the movement, couldn't sustain that beating we were taking. So, stepping up and doing a good 40, nearly 50 minutes extra work was tough. So, and then all the pressure, like I said earlier on, all the pressure I put on myself to organize this event, find the sponsors, find the venue itself, find the tyre, do the fundraising, all that kind of thing. And then to be told that we'd crack the 10 grand, it was just this
pure emotion.
Literally just pure emotion. I couldn't, even now I get goosebumps thinking about it in terms of what that meant. What that meant to me, clearly, making that 10 grand, and then what it meant to everybody else. I burst into tears, and it was only Harry, my good friend Harry, boxing coach, that could calm me down enough to continue in my next 10-minute stint. So that was really a pretty special moment to share it with people, to share it with everybody, and then from that point on, Harry kind of guided me for the last 45 minutes, 40 minutes until the end.
That's amazing. I saw some clips, I think, because it was midday.
Yes,
it was midday to midday. I saw some clips. I was obviously at home still on that, seeing all the completion. And you guys had a final tally at the end, the distance that you guys covered, just to let people know as well.
Yeah, so we travelled 24.7 Ks in the 24 hours, so a K an hour, which, pretty, considering where we were at 16 hours in, was, immense. We'd done 15 Ks in the 12 hours. And, that last hour, we kind of, the emotion kind of kicked in, and we just went faster and faster and faster, knowing that 12 hours it was done, it was finite. The 24-hour thing, it was literally just holding on for grim death just to get to the end. And
I can imagine, fatigue, tired, everything else.
The interesting thing was, for me, after the learnings of the 12-hour, the food... You came down and I was smashing back pizza. That was my go-to.
High carb.
I'm not a big eater when I'm training, especially when we've been doing this training. And Tom could just devour like anything, donuts, just sandwiches, doesn't matter. I would struggle to get down a banana on a 1 square meal. So I hit the wall really hard, like I said, in the 8 hour, the 12 hour that we did. So I was making sure that wasn't going to happen again. And my go-to, generally, if I'm craving anything, it'll be pizza. So, with coaching, specificity, around my powerlifters and things, don't stray away from the norm. Do what your body's used to and stick to that, and don't throw it. It's not like I was having a curry the night before or anything like that.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Carb loading with a curry and a beer. So
the beer's alright. I wouldn't recommend a curry if you get a beer. I mean... it's, if you think about it, you're talking about, 24 point change kilometers, how many squats that was. That just in itself is mind-boggling. How many times did you bend down, lift up, and flip the tire?
In total, I think it was over or just under 7,000 flips.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. It was just, I travelled, I think, over 12 and a half Ks, and Tom did just over 11 Ks in that time. So...
amazing achievement, Gareth, I must say that. And hitting the target, I was ecstatic for you, and then getting a small boost. You guys hit the target almost as it completed, but you still got a 20. Like I said, you've gone to about 12, over 12 grand was the total amount.
Yeah, so on the day, we actually, over the 24-hour period, we had a little bit of a donation bucket there as well, so people would donate cash, purchase a little dog from the foundation, and gold coin bucket type scenario, and it was $720 worth of cash, so that's ticked us over. And then we had a couple dribble through over the last couple of weeks, so we're at about 13.7 all up.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And it's congratulations on what you're doing in there. And I met up with Gareth a few weeks ago as well, and we spoke similar to what you're saying now, all those points to that stage. But one thing, I contacted you, I think it was a week later, and I said, hey, how you doing? How's the body? And then the first question, or the second question I asked, was thinking about it, is how's the mind? How did the mind go from, I think it was 4 to 6 months of focus, dedication, the last week to 3 weeks of pure intensity of getting up to there and going high and now coming down to a low. Was there those moments of low that you would have found from getting to a peak?
Yeah, look, now there was, like you said, there was ecstatic highs. We finished. There was this pure elation, enjoyment to have all our loved ones and friends and family around us to celebrate this massive achievement. And then once the dust settles, then you're back to
normal life.
And well, as normal as you can be with your hands in ice buckets. I literally spent 3 days on the couch, not really moving too far, couldn't really make a fist, couldn't undo a cap on a bottle. It's like, couldn't turn a hand. Like, it's amazing how much you take for granted what you do with your hands. Brushing your teeth, I couldn't hold my toothbrush. I literally couldn't make a fist and hold my toothbrush. I got into the shower when we got home, so by the time we cleaned up, got home, it was about 2 p.m. Laid down, I'm still in my skin, still had tape on my hands, tape around my knees, just lay on my bed and napped till about 6. Got up and thought, I need to have a shower. I feel gross. I feel dirty.
You feel a little bit normal, so you realise
it kicked in. So the adrenaline dropped off, and and then stood in the shower and realised that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I literally just stood in the shower with the water just beaming down on me, and I couldn't move my hands. I couldn't move my arms. I called out to Stace to help me. She was passed out asleep. So
I can imagine you're going to call to a mate going, are you close to my house?
I can't get out of the shower. It was a really humbling experience. And then the Monday, luckily, I had lots of helpers around me to kind of look after me and move me around. And good friend Josh came around and we watched the 7 Sharp article, which was great. To have the 7 Sharp guys there throughout the whole 24 hours.
Josh is coming on.
Great. Okay.
Josh is coming on in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we spend a bit of time together. And it's good to...
When we get to it, I'm not asking about those X's.
Yeah. That was my idea. I seem to have crazy ideas.
That's great. We'll get to that segment.
I throw out crazy ideas to people. And going back to the mental state, it was really interesting, the Monday, the Tuesday, into the Wednesday, the highs and the lows that I went through. Obviously, seeing us on 7 Sharp, there was another big high on the Monday night. And then what really dawned on me was, and I posted about this on social that week, of who is important to me and who I'm important to. That was probably one of the biggest learnings from this whole experience. I get that people can't donate time, donate money, but they can still give time. And the people that were closest to me over the years that didn't show up, didn't even send well wishes.
I can imagine that was hard.
Yeah, look, it was a really hard pill to swallow. Still is. Yeah. It's still there. It's still a bitter taste in my mouth in terms of who I would deem friends who didn't even go, "Hey, bro, that was awesome."
You think it was resemblant to the goal that you're achieving? There was something big, or
yeah. There is that tall poppy syndrome in New Zealand. Hey, look, he's doing that. So there is that kind of, but I don't know. It's a funny one, and even you messaged me. Josh made sure he was there, looking after coming around, see how I was doing. The people that reached out to me after the event probably meant more. Going, "Hey, bro, how are you feeling?"
Yeah,
that probably meant more than the people going prior to. Kill it, you're going to do awesome. You're going to raise the money, which is great. The rah, which is cool. But it's the guys going, "Hey, how you feeling? Where's your body at? How are you?" That's what kind of that was nice. That was probably more humbling. Even complete strangers. That was pretty cool. Obviously, my circle of friends, my close friends, has now got closer. So the likes of you, Josh. It's brought Tom and I closer together. Big Dave. Shout out to Big Dave. He's the man. Have all been there for us to go, "Hey, do you need anything? Can I do anything? Can I help?" That's awesome. That's kind of it's brought sort of everyone closer together.
Sometimes it's such pain, and it's such a shit thing to do that. There's a lot of times in people's lives, and we've got these big circles and these big friends, and we think everyone cares for us and everyone wants for us, and then you come to a moment of either top or bottom, either success or failure, high or lows, and then you really see what the characteristics is of people, right? And you see that real judgment they have on them. It's the sort of challenges of. I had a very good close friend of mine, and a good few years ago. I won't mention his name on the show anyway, and he had in the sense of he helped everyone else out. And everyone loved to be around him because he would help and shout out and be that friendly guy. And I said to him, "Hey, it looks like from the outside that people are taking the mickey, taking the piss out of you." And I said to him, "How about this? As a little tester, you on the weekend say, 'Hey, I've got something on this weekend, or I've got something on next weekend, I need people to come help me out.'" And fucking no one. No one did a show on that on that at the moment. And I said, that's exactly it. You got to realize that everyone's going to take from you, but it's sometimes when you need someone to stand up that it counts.
It's amazing. It keeps kind of popping up, this post on social media about friends in business. And supporting your friends in business. Now, the amount of people that kind of looked at my business and either expected stuff for free, or just didn't support at all. "Oh, it's flash and pan. Oh, it's not going to work. And what's he doing? Starting his own business, blah, blah, blah." And yet they are very quick to go and support
any other company.
Kanye, or whatever, dropping some Yeezys or whatever it is, and yet they won't support a close friend doing whatever they're doing.
I have mentioned this multiple times over the last few episodes, and to a lot of people about that it's the people won't care for people closely in the sense of from a brand, right? I get Denise says to me all the time, and she goes, "Oh, a new idea. I'm always launching. Don't go to our friends. Don't ask them, because it's that is understandable. But in the sense of when you reach out and go, "Hey, I've got a new brand, or I've got a new product or a new idea," at least acknowledge or look at it and do a support if it's something you would take.
Share a post,
share a post, or help out like that. And it's this underlying thing of sort of resentment, or you're doing something that looks better than me, or this tall pop. But it's a global thing as well, because people, like you said, Jay-Z or whoever else, they'll go and buy some shitty ass t-shirt from some knockoff celebrity that ships in from China for $50. Was it Kanye did that, right? They busted him when he did the pop-up store. He was selling what, $60 or $70 t-shirts. It was a $10 shirt from China. Just put his name on it. But yet they won't do a $20 purchase from your shop or from any other e-commerce or other business like that and give you support. Even if it's a support once and saying, hey, look here, I'll buy your product, I'll support you. Not necessarily something I'll continuously use, but at least I gave you support and I'll give you feedback on it.
It's such a... And again, you can't be bitter or resentful. That's just, you know, you learn... You do learn in business who your friends are. I've lost friends and I've made friends, lifelong friends now in business that we share ideas, we share contacts, we share time. And you know, it's all through the want and the desire to help each other out. Whether, you know, I've got friends who do fashion, their own fashion label, women's fashion that I can't do it. I can't model that. I can't sell it. So, but I'll still help where I can. It's just what you do, right? You know, you help your friends in business. And
I totally agree. And you know, I always thought unfortunately, I was at some stage, I was that person that necessarily wouldn't help, and it's changed, and I'm doing it more now. Not doing it more now. I'm totally doing it now and helping out brands.
What changed it for you?
I think it was a realization of a lot of my learnings, in the sense of, one of the things I say at the moment a lot is there's more success in the world than anyone needs. Not in the sense that we don't need all the success. If everyone gets to where they want to be, there will still be left over. There is enough money in the world for that everyone to get to the level they want, and more to be left over. So why do I have to be resentful if you've got a successful brand and I don't? If I support you, I'm supporting your brand, I'm supporting your initiative. And also fundamentally is, as I've spoken before, is success is contagious, so is failure or bad stuff, right? So if I'm putting myself around success or around good ideas and initiatives, I will feed that off energy. That if I'm open-minded and I'm an open and honest soul about it, I will be able to take off you and you'll be able to take off me. But if I'm coming in at a negative and a shitty opinion about it,
oh, look what you've got.
Look what you've got. It doesn't build it. And that's where you see a lot of things. I mean, last week, in Auckland, New Zealand, they had Gary V, Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone, and the Success Resources show last Monday and Tuesday. I was part of the crew, and a big shout out to Michael Lane from Success Resources, putting that show on. It was pretty epic. A big thing they were showing there was allow everyone to be successful. If you can't, one of Grant's best comments I've actually got on my cell phone somewhere was, if you can't celebrate someone else's success, you can't achieve success. And I thought that was
a really good point.
I thought it was a great point, a great insight into it, in the sense of acknowledging, celebrating, because it allows yourself to acknowledge and celebrate.
I think, and I've just posted it on social today after speaking to Big Dave and sort of what our learnings were around the last 24 weeks. The going forward and helping people fundamentally is what is important to me. You know, whether it's, and we spoke at lunch, whether it's painting someone's fence or you know, doing some odd jobs around the house for somebody who isn't able to do that for whatever reason. That's fundamentally what I keep coming back to. Over the last 2.5 years that I've had Dark Heart, I've fundraised through the business for prostate cancer, for I've shaved my head, as we mentioned back in the original podcast. You know, I've done all these things for these foundations, that bowel cancer, raise money for bowel cancer, and then now this for the JK Foundation. You know, it's clearly something that means a great deal to me.
Totally. It's fundamentally fundamentally who you are. I did a post after, so as Gareth mentioned, we met up a couple of weeks, must be 2 or 3 weeks ago. You'll notice both on our socials, a post from that. And we sat down and, you know, and we spoke about a lot, as we said, we spoke about now, and fundamentally said, you know, what's next? Obviously, Dark Heart Grooming Company, your product, your brand, you know, your branding behind that, your men's product range. But fundamentally, what is next for you as a person, a soul, an individual? And our realization, you know, and we discussed quite a bit about it, we went to realization that fundamentally what makes you tick is that the willing and want to help others that are in lesser need, that need the help or can't help themselves because of some issues. And we were discussing of where can we look at opportunities and how, what's next steps in those opportunities. So just on a little side note, anyone that's watching or listening, anyone that's in New Zealand or over the world, if you've got an initiative, you've got an idea about raising money, please put a comment below. Please let me know or anything, or contact Gareth, and we'll see what we can do through our networks. It's a big thing that I'm looking at as well with myself, in the sense of not necessarily raising money as much, but giving my time as much. It's a big push over the next while.
That's what it can be. It doesn't have to be a monetary value. That's the kind of thing. It doesn't, and we spoke about it at lunch. It doesn't have to be a monetary value. Giving someone time, whether it's a Big Brother program, spending time with youth that don't have that sort of Big Brother figure or father figure or that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be money always, and there's foundations out there, and there's Give a Little pages, and there's GoFundMe pages, and people fundraising to do stupid shit, and then there's the really important stuff. But I want to look at taking the giving a flip mentality, giving a flip about whether it's mental health or I'm passionate about rescue animals, and we've rescued a couple of dogs ourselves, so it could be giving a flip about that. It could be giving a flip about whatever it is. It's violence, domestic violence,
big as well. Big in New
Zealand. Male and female domestic violence. It doesn't matter as long as that vehicle and that voice is there. Now, like we've got this vehicle of what Tom and I went through together, and as a collective for our friends and family group, to really take this and run with it. And Dave kind of challenged me last night, and challenged both of us, challenged Tom and I, to to take our learnings from the last 24 weeks and really apply it to our wider lives.
Yeah.
And sitting down today, and all my good ideas tend to come when I'm training. I don't know why. I think it's something about I'm doing something that's about me, and I'm free and all that kind of stuff. So
something that's it's your space, and your
Yeah, it always has been. It's always been my go-to.
Yeah.
So I put the call out there on social today about if I started a foundation, which I think I really want to do now after talking to Dave and mulling it over the past 24 hours. What matters to people?
Yep.
Actually putting it out to those out there in the public. What actually matters to you? What do you give a flip about? What do you want people to give a flip about? I give a flip about people.
Yep.
Clearly, I'm in an industry, grooming and retail, and being a strength coach.
Yep.
I've always been around people. I'm always coaching. And my job as a coach is to give you the skills to go on and train yourself. You as a client, you're not there to be a cash cow to fund my lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's not what I got into being a strength coach and a PT. When I did, it's not about, you're not going to be a millionaire being a PT. You're just not. There's no money in it. But if you're in it for genuine reasons, which I feel I am, it's about helping people. I go to bed every night and I can go, I made an impact in someone's life.
Yeah. And that's what's important, right?
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. And it's making
pretty cool feeling.
Making the change in someone's life, and whether it's helping him through the day, the moment, that second, just giving him some insight and something.
Totally. Am I going to be the next Gary Vee? Probably not. Do I want to be the next Gary Vee? Probably not.
Okay. Good statement. Because again, taking a bit of a step back, or not step back, but talking about it, a big thing that I totally dislike at the moment, and I'll challenge anyone out there, and everyone can tell me that they're pissy and shitty at me about it, but it's pretty much, there's one Gary Vee, there's one LeBron James, there's one Michael Jordan,
I know where this is going.
There's one of everything. Stop fucking trying to be them.
Yep.
Because you ain't going to happen. It ain't going to work. Be where you are and be the best version of yourself. Because fundamentally, Gareth is Gareth, I am Lawrence, and we are only ever going to be the best version of ourselves.
Yep.
If I try to be Gareth, firstly, I'm too short to be Gareth. Okay, it ain't going to happen. We're not made that way, and people keep on today wanted to say, I'm going to train like this guy. I'm going to follow exactly what this person says and expect myself to be a replication of that person to their success, whether financial, career, social platform, and it just doesn't work. So stop trying to mimic that person. Take the insights and be the best version you can of yourself.
Look, it's taken me 40 years to work out who I am.
Yep. It takes a lot of us. I had to go through, unfortunately, a bit of a moment a few months ago to have a better understanding as well where I am as well, personally. And we learn and we evolve, but we've got to realize that it's about ourselves and understanding ourselves, what we're challenging,
Totally.
And, like I said, it's great call saying, I'm not going to be the next Gary Vee, because you can't be the next Gary. No, it doesn't, not saying that you couldn't have that skills to stand up there and talk and do the rest. You've got those skills, but you're Gareth Edwards.
Yeah,
you're not Gareth.
It's my offering is different.
Yeah, and that's great. So, Dark Heart Grooming Company, your brand at the moment. Obviously, you didn't spend much time in it. Coming up to the event, we spoke about this. It got literally left behind because you had the left arm, right arm, right? You had your e-commerce business side, and then you had what makes you happy and what drives you as a passion. You're talking about standing up a charity. You're still talking about the future of your heart and your soul, what you need to give, and you've still got that business. Are you still is there any way there could be a transition between the two, that they become one as an entity? That I know, as a simple idea, I know there's some brands out there at the moment, I can't tell you the top of me, but I think like soap brands, I think it's called Help or Safe, and where everything's tracked back. And is there ever a consideration that your grooming brand will evolve into the charity and giving back? And
I think so. I think that's, again, like I said, with starting the business, I have this voice and I have this platform to give back. I have this moral obligation as a businessman and as a human being to help the less fortunate. Am I living in this palatial manner in no, I don't have an ivory tower. I'm not, I don't live out in Coatesville on I have very humble.
It's a very rich suburb.
Those that aren't Kiwis, Coatesville is a lovely place. But, I come from a humble life. But again, it's what I give back, money is money. Look, it'll come, it'll go. It's there to pay the bills. It's there to save and do good things with. And I would rather do the good things with it. So, and we talked about, what we could do at lunch in terms of giving back. And I think, after I went away from that, it was something that I saw. It was a post in America. It was a guy who builds cars in America, and they went and did like a grooming day for the homeless and stuff, and people less fortunate. And I'm like, shit, that's pretty cool. That's really, I actually saved the post. And I think there's definitely space there to explore. Again, it's about, and I spoke to Jimmy Hunt, the mental health advocate and Live Your Best Life guy. Live More Awesome, sorry. Live Your Best Life is something completely different. And Live More Awesome. And grooming as a guy is, if we, and girls, don't get me wrong, those that look good feel good.
Correct.
Most of the time. That's generally if we put on a nice crisp shirt and put on a suit and all this kind of stuff, we feel good. If we groom and go to the barber and have a good haircut and or a beard trim, we feel good. There's endorphins there. There's dopamine. There's all these feel good emotions. So why can't we take that and give to people that don't have that? It doesn't have to be homeless. It can be people that just
I've seen quite a few initiatives like in America. Obviously, the larger scale, so they've got more people, but great initiatives in the sense of there was a business I saw that was giving away free suits for people going to interviews. It was it was a sort of a low cost suit company anyway, but they gave to people that did the interviews. There's obviously, I've seen the guys doing the shaving and that for the homeless, but also getting guys groomed and stuff, going into interviews and the opportunities, because the challenges sometimes in society, be it male or female, anything, is once they're down, is when they're given a door that is partially open to get through, is they don't have the support or the guidance, whether it's a suit on the back to go to an interview, or tailored correctly, or have a haircut, or someone just supporting them, or someone actually just dropping them at the venue or the location, because they don't have the money to do an Uber
teaching
or something.
Them how to interview. Some of them haven't even interviewed.
Yeah, correct. The interview skills, these days, especially if someone that hasn't had the best education and understanding how to talk and so forth. If us just being on a podcast, I still talk horribly myself, and it's learning. So you can imagine, someone else that's not thinking about it, and you put them in front of an interview, highly stressed, highly strung, or a situation in life, and if they don't have those tools. And it's a great way to look at where in that path of mental stress, of someone trying to better, or an opportunity to open door, where we could feed in.
I think, big business, big companies out there that, that may be watching this, that can, a lot of it is about, these big companies are about take. It's about retail, it's about dollars, it's about KPIs.
Correct.
Yes, they've got overheads, and yes, they've got to pay staff, and yes, they've got to have rental on properties and all that stuff. I understand that. But there's still a lot of money at the end.
Totally.
Why can't we challenge these bigger businesses to go, hey, look, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to dedicate. We had a meeting today with a company called Feed My Fur Baby, and they do subscription boxes for dogs, and they actually support Auckland Puppy Rescue, and they gave thousands of dollars worth of food to rescue centres and fosters and things like that, just so these dogs have food, and it's consistent and it's the same food and all that, and it's money off their bottom line. Like it's stock they're giving away for no return on investment, if any return on investment, but good karma points.
Good for the soul.
It meant something. It means something to Ben and Amy, and that there should be more businesses like that. Because what does a suit cost you? As a tailor or at a wholesale value at cost. You may be selling it for $3,000. That suit
that's nowhere near that.
Or look at
to put it simply, talking about a soup as talking about a suit as an analogy, we've got a brand here called Hallenstein's. 99% of most guys in New Zealand will have some clothing range from them. They have a great deal at the moment. I think it's like $199 for a full suit, shirt and tie and everything included. That's retail, and it's been like that for years. You can imagine that that's $199 retail. The cost in that would be a lot, far less. And the initiatives of going, okay, people that are in need or helping or struggling, they can help it out in that sense as well. Because one thing I struggled with myself, and I looked into it a little bit. I spoke to a few people, and hopefully maybe this is the bouncing board for me to get it going again. But it was when I came back from the Tony Robbins event. They had a big feed the hungry program. It's one of his major things to feed 1 billion people. So I came home guns blazing, said, hey, I want to help out people in need that are needing food, and set up food bags and stuff like that. We do something from the family's point of view every Christmas. We find through anonymous donation. We will normally do a full Christmas bundle, and we send it off. What I was trying to find out was somewhere, a company, a business, if anyone's listening and you have this list of stuff, please let me know. People's names that I need around food parcels or those requirements, because I had a group of people already set up that would help me bundle it, collect food, donate what is required, and we then could send it off. But being in New Zealand where we are, everything's a little bit PC. Everyone's privacy information, and as the world is going in, and so to go up to a business and go, hey, can you give me 20 people's names? Just give it to me,
Yeah.
without me come in and go, hey, I'm big wig, I'm a big corporation. They're not just going to throw it at me, but I'm coming at all willingness, going, I want to help someone, or I want to help a family, and I want to help people out there. And I found that I went even spoke to a couple of local churches and found out, and they said, hey, there's one or two, but that even they had the struggle to get more that's behind it. And it's like
the red tape around helping people is ridiculous.
I know.
For the people that want to do it,
Yeah.
the genuine people that want to help and want to give, the amount of hoops you have to jump through. You look at, even look, might give a little page, as an individual that wanted to do this event and raise funds, the hoops, the practically almost took a DNA sample to prove that I was genuine enough that I wanted to do this for genuine reasons. And then you look at the Israel Folau situation in Australia with the GoFundMe page, and that goes up and
$1 million in 24 hours or something.
like that. And then they go, oh, okay, well, we should probably take it down. Really? You didn't moderate that prior to, nobody read it, but yet I get moderated and I just want to give money to the foundation. I don't want to touch the money. I'm raising it and I want to just give the money away. I don't want the money.
Yeah, he's taken it. He said he won't pay it back. I'm not really going to dwell into that space because
that's a different conversation.
It's a totally different podcast with a massive warning on that. But I totally don't agree with what he stands for, what he represents, and I'm happy to say that I publicly.
But just the around, how this structure of helping, like you were saying, that the privacy, we can't give you names of people, whether it's in the churches and in the larger clergy, like you just want to help, like, unless you, I guess, bundle up and then take it to the church and then they distribute it. But again, does it go to the people that actually need it? Because
one thing as well, which I picked up from this was, is the learning from the people that are also doing it. Like you say, we do a lot of things, not because we want anything back, but it's good for the soul.
Yeah.
Now, me going and getting a whole lot of friends and we dump in a whole lot of food at a church and we have no understanding of, is it actually helping people out and everything else. So, and I'll be back in 1 second because I'll cut that in.
Oh, the fridge. I was like, what is the noise you're picking up.
Lovely. I'll cut that out. And back. Nice. Still learning to set up the venue, get a nice nice fridge noise in the venue. But it's totally the red tape around that. And if anyone's listening and I'm wrong, I will apologize. Prove me wrong. Send me the information, and I'm happy to help and willing thing at the moment. I know my daughter at the moment. There's a friend of us through the family that's looking to raise and get some money together to help and feed the homeless. Yes. There is a set initiative at the moment that's in Auckland City to go and do that, and that is great, and I can't wait for her to get involved with sort of her first charity organisation. But I want to be able to find places that can say, okay, people contact me and say, okay, we know of this 20 families, and know of this 30 families, or we know of this one family just had this heartache, and then you can go around it, because the biggest problem you struggle with these days is you've got Facebook groups and you've got location groups, and pages, and people go, oh, I need this, I need that. What you don't understand is you've got no reference point to that. You've got no one that's referring that person, going, hey, I know that person and they're actually in need, right? Yeah. This person just comes out and says, hey, I haven't got food for my kid. Yes, it could be correct, but also you could be bullshit.
Money for the pokies.
Yeah, money for the pokies, for KFC, as what goes on. But you have no referencing point, and half the time they're going to just want to take it for the money, and it never goes back to the kids, which is fundamental.
Yeah, totally.
So it's just finding that middle ground.
It's a tough one. And then a lot of it, I think, as well, with this, the nature of people in this country is a lot of people won't put their hands up for help.
That is a challenge. It's the same as no one will put up their hand to say they're in trouble around mental health as well, right? So it's the same thing with barriers we've got to break through of going, we've got to be willing to say something's wrong. We've got to be willing to say, hey, look at me, I'm hurting, or I need help. And by doing that, it's this, what's it, AA if the first thing alcoholics and anyone that's on drugs or alcohol admit that there's a problem.
I've got a problem. Yeah.
I've got a problem, and we've got to break through that stuff and allow people to say out and go, "Hey, I've got a problem. I need help."
Yep.
Doesn't make you a lesser person. It doesn't make you a worse person, or in anyone's eyes. What it does is it allows you to be a person that someone else can help, because there is people out there to help someone in that stepping stone and go in the next steps.
There are people that want to do it, and there are organisations that want to do it that aren't all rah-rah about it, and that are out there that are looking to help people. So a lot of it is just finding the people, as you alluded to, is finding those individuals and getting the resources to them.
Yeah. So just before we end it off from now, it's been 3 months from the first time we come on the show. A lot's happened in the show. Where and what is the next 60 or 90 days for the Dark Heart Grooming Company, yourself? Where do you see the next thing? So when you come on, what's in August, when you come on around Christmas and we have a Christmas celebration, we crack open some whiskies.
Yeah.
What is your focus now for that end of the year?
The focus for me we'll crack off with Dark Heart first. The focus for that is to I've really enjoyed the last sort of 3 weeks getting back into the business. I didn't lose the passion for the business. It just I'm only one man, and I did a lot of things prior to the event. So, now I can really, and I went through a little bit of a rebrand, at the start of the year. So just kind of that was all finalized now, and got a nice little postcards and all that kind of finished off, which are stunning. Some lovely photographs. And
so there we go. Dark Heart Grooming Company for everyone that's on the video.
Yep.
That is elegant and style.
It is, and it's handwritten. So every order that goes out is handwritten. A little handwritten note from me saying, thank you for your order, and I hope the product's enjoyed.
If anyone that's listening that has any sort of shop or anything that would love this sort of brand or product, let us know. I'll get you in contact with Gareth. Yeah, I love this stuff. I love the moisturizer. It's all natural.
It's all natural, and and again, it goes back to me supporting small businesses and my friends in business. That's what that was about. So, for the business going forward, I've got three new products that I'm just finalising, and I want them out before Christmas to kind of get into that sort of Christmas buying. Yep. Just little things that are bolstering my product range. And it's as a lean business, single sole operator, I can't pump out 12 products. Tomorrow,
because you can't stock it and you can't hold it, right?
No, and it's more about finding the packaging, doing the labeling, finalizing all the ingredients and that kind of thing. It's not, because I've set a bar for myself on the business to stay true and the sustainability. There's no plastic in my business. There's a lot of businesses out there that are sustainable and are eco-friendly, but they put stuff into plastic, and I'm kind of like, well, that's not. My wash bar was to eradicate. It's a shampoo and it's a wash bar, and it's a face wash and all this kind of body wash, all in one. So that's 3 plastic bottles that you don't have in your shower. Things like that. That's a tough act to follow. So I've got a hand wash, beautiful hand wash, ready to go. Finding the bottle to put that in has been a challenge. I've created this style around my brand. So I've created a rod for my own back.
Your first products were great, and obviously it's the challenge you have it. But also one thing, is if you've got a good product, you've got to consider that the product is good and make sure you're keeping the fundamentals. Doesn't necessarily mean to anyone else there in the retail. You see it all the time. Doesn't mean you've got to build more products. Doesn't mean if it's not needed, you don't have to add 3 or 4 side pieces that turn into crap, which then hurt your brand, which then feeds back into fundamentally your overall
just
brand.
To pump out more
and to be seen as more modern
stuff. No, I don't think. And also, a lot of those brands as well have marketing teams. They have R&D teams. They have teams of people doing this shit for them. Going, hey team, we want a face mask and a eye serum ready to go, and I want it out by the end of September. No way, man. It's just one thing at a time. But every product that I've put out there is a piece of me. I've created the scent, I've created the ingredients, I've sourced the ingredients down to the infinite, everything about it is me in a package, which is great. The only thing with that is scalability.
It's struggle
of doing it again and then doing it more, and making these boutique products that are great, but then, and that was one of the main problems last year of scaling to do my exporting, was taking the stuff that was made by me on a small scale and then ramping it up tenfold and doing it in a commercial sense, and just the trials and issues that came with that, which is great learning for me. It was a really steep learning curve, which was great. And, it was a year into my business, year and a half into business. So I learned a lot and had to learn a lot really quick. But now going forward, it's about choosing and being picky in terms of what ingredients I want to use, what the product actually is going to be like at the end, what the packaging is going to be like at the end, all that kind of stuff. So it takes a little bit more time.
But you can afford that though. So like you're saying, you've got a brand, you've got a good products, you can afford to take your time to evolve it. And whether you release anything new in a year or not, you've fundamentally got your baseline and what it represents in full entirety, what the brand is for Dark Heart. I'm excited to see what's coming up next. I'm excited to see the Christmas products that goes on there. Don't worry, I'll sample and give them a buy and give them a try. No, give them a try. Like I said before, the products are great. I love the products. That's amazing. The bar soap, the moisturizer, definitely I use that. I've never used the moisturizer before after the shaving, the whiskey based one, and the last, I must say the last month I've actually been more focused on it. It is quite enjoyable to have a shave and then throw some whiskey on your face. It does feel nice. I must say it does feel nice. And then on the other side, the charity organisation, obviously you're asking the question. I'm guessing it's still infant in its mind or in your sense of what are you doing in that?
It's kind of, Dave threw out the challenge yesterday, like I said, and it was something that it's been there. And it was just literally having somebody verbalize it and then me verbalize it back to go, actually, this is something that does matter to me, and it's something that I feel like the whole 20 weeks of learning, 24 weeks of learning is shit. I can take an idea and run with it and create this massive event and create this fundraising and this thing off just a simple idea. So what else can I do? I can talk to media outlets. I can
because you've got those contacts now, right?
Pull in newspapers and TV and radio and all these contacts that we've made, and and through the vehicle of my business, which you spoke about, like this is awesome. I can take all of this knowledge and all of this learning and this network of people and then move it forward. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool feeling. So, definitely the give a flip is something that meant something to Tom and I. Means something to Tom and I.
So in the sense of giving a flip as in caring, or a tongue in cheek in the sense of doing more tyres?
No, it won't be. I think the tyres are done. Like we're going to put that and we're going to put it on the shelf and it's going to stay there. It's definitely the caring. Caring, giving a flip and again a little bit of tongue in cheek. Giving a flip, we do care. Tom and I we do care. We're very caring individuals. That's very apparent if you spend any time with us. And then things have been pretty whirlwind the last sort of 3 weeks. I got signed up to a modelling agency.
Congratulations.
Which was
you've got not just a pretty mind and pretty face as well.
It's a modelling agency for over 30s.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So that kind of alludes to my age. I'm older than I look, ladies and gentlemen.
So, but going about that. On the previous episode 3 months ago when I was doing research on Gareth, I did at one stage find a photo of you pretty much butt-ass naked for some organisation on social media. I can't remember, and I was just like, damn, you are happy boy. I was like, I would never do that.
There's
put you on the spot.
There's been a few things like that,
and it's out there.
There's a great story around that, and Tom will kill me for telling it. But look, we're with friends, so why not? We were approached by a photographer who saw our piece in a local newspaper on the shore, The Observer, and it was around the fundraising and what we're doing for the foundation. And he was like, "Look, I'd love to take a photo of you guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of my Bear Truth. Elon Wiltenberg is the photographer, and Bear Truth, check it out on his Facebook page. It's stunning. He's won awards. He's a master photographer. Fantastic stuff. And he's like, hey, look, will you guys come in and let me shoot you?
Did he tell you?
Okay, let's do that. You know, I said to Tom, hey, look, we've been invited to do a photo shoot. This is what it is. Have a look at the guy's work. You know, beautiful imagery. And he takes guys off the street. Yeah. It's not models. It's not staged.
No, you can see that, right?
It's just regular Kiwis, just blokes being blokes, and telling a story. Yeah. You know, Elon was telling their story, so he wanted to tell our story. Yeah. And how the conversation went on the phone in terms of what he wanted to do with us, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, and what we were comfortable doing. And look, the photo, if you have a look at it, the photo is t-shirt off, so I was actually wearing these pants. You know, pants from the waist down. And then we were in the studio and we got to know Elon and had a laugh, and you know, we got comfortable, and he said, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to take some photos, and then he sort of went out of the room, and I said to Tom, hey, look, he may go this way. Like, I've got a feeling that he's going to say, look, just get your gear off.
So to anyone, you know, this side of the world, get gear off, pretty much.
Close. Just
take everything off.
Down. Now, Tom and I are mates, and we are very close. Our relationship went to another level with that shoot, and Elon came back in, and I went first, took the shirt off, and stood there and did some poses, and you know, cracked my best blue steel, and then Tom went, and then once finished with Tom, he's like, cool, I'll get you to take your pants off. And I looked at Tom, and he kind of looked at me, and I said to him when he was sitting on the couch, hey, look, this might happen. So I at least preempted him that the thing was going to happen. And Tom's, you know, the people that know Tom really well, he's a pretty shy individual. He's very modest. He's a very big human being. And yeah, it was an eye-opening experience. It's something. Look, it
was a beautiful imagery that came out, right?
Yeah, it was.
Like stunning, I say, you're a brave man.
Stunning photos. Yeah. Elon is an amazing photographer, and he made us feel comfortable. Yeah. You know, if you look at the photos, it was a very cold studio. It is winter here in New Zealand right now. It was a cold studio, so I'll just
leave it at that.
Yeah.
How about that? How about we end it off on Gareth pretty much being naked, and the photos out there, you can find it.
It's on the interweb, so
it's on the interweb.
It doesn't go away now.
But anyway, to everyone again, Gareth, let's take it back. Congratulations on everything you achieved with John Kirwan Foundation, the tyre flip at 24 hours, the money you've raised, the place you've found yourself in, the understanding of yourself and what you want to achieve next around the charity, your business, and those focus. Congratulations in all of that, and I hope over the next 6 months, like I said, we'll be back for a Christmas whiskey celebration. Yeah. To everyone and see how it's going. And to everyone that is watching, as we said through the show, I challenge you to prove me wrong. We want to help people. We want to find places or organizations or stuff that need help. Please be in contact. We want to find families, individuals that are in need, whether it is in need of in the sense of they need a friend, they need support, or they actually just need their next meal. Please be in contact. And again, we're out there. We've got contacts. We'll help. We're willing to help people that are in need, and let's make the change. But I just want to say, as my stuff's playing around, thank you again for joining in today on the Wolf of Queen Street with Gareth Edwards. Before we end off, throw out your socials as always.
Yeah, so you can reach me at Bearded Entrepreneur NZ on Instagram, and Gareth Edwards on Facebook, or Gareth at darkheart.co.nz if you do want to reach out, and if you can think of anybody that needs help or have an idea or want to collaborate on fundraising.
Awesome. As you know, Wolf of Queen Street. So if you're watching this, we're on YouTube, obviously on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Lawrence Lotze, just look it up, you'll find it. And again, thank you so much for watching if you watch on YouTube, as well as having a listen if you listen on the podcast. Thank you again.